What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio for Wednesday, July 1st, 2015, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner are ending their marriage. The Hollywood A-listers announced Tuesday that they're divorcing after 10 years of marriage. The pair said in a joint statement issued to the Wrap, "After much thought and careful consideration, we have made the difficult decision to divorce. We'll go forward with love and friendship for one another and a commitment to co-parenting our children, whose privacy we ask to be respected during this difficult time. This will be our only comment on this private family matter. Thank you for your understanding." The couple, who celebrated their 10th wedding anniversary on Monday, have 3 children together: Violet 9, Serafina 6, and Samuel 3. Affleck is an award-winning actor, producer, writer, and director. He has received 2 Academy Awards, the first in 1998 for co-writing Good Will Hunting with Matt Damon, and the second in 2013 for producing Argo. He is slated to appear in a string of upcoming films, including The Accountant with Anna Kendricks, J.K. Simmons, and Jeffrey Tambor in January 2016. Affleck will also play Bruce Wayne in next year's Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Garner, who rose to fame in J.J. Abrams' spy drama Alias, which aired on ABC from 2001 to 2006, she earned a Golden Globe in 2002 for her performance in the series. She has also appeared in the award-winning films Juno and The Dallas Buyers Club. Garner is currently filming the comedy 9 Lives with Robbie Amell and Kevin Spacey. According to TMZ, while the couple announced their plans to divorce on Tuesdays, papers won't be filed for some time as the couple sort out financial and custody issues. Citing sources, the source says that Affleck and Garner will share joint custody of the children. Iggy Azalea took to Twitter to slam the media for what she felt was a manufactured beef between her and Britney Spears. It all started on Monday after the Australian rapper tweeted that she felt her collaboration with Britney on Pretty Girls wasn't promoted enough to be a hit. Some took it as a dig at Spears, and to throw more fuel on the fire, Spears' tweet Monday night exclaimed that she was so thankful to have shows for the rest of the year to look forward to, was seen by many as an allusion to Azalea having to cancel her tour earlier this month. That led to a stream of tweets from Azalea in which she blasted the media for pitting women against women, adding that her and Spears are still friends and that the experience of women in music shouldn't be some team drama and nothing like Mean Girls. Azalea tweeted, "I'm honestly not surprised, but still really saddened by that the media is trying to create a beef between Britney Spears and myself." She also tweeted, "We remain friends, and I haven't said anything negative at all about her. Does wishing we had promoted a single more make me the bad guy?" She also tweeted, "I feel like the media wants women in music to get out and mud wrestle each other. As a woman, I take great offense." She also tweeted, "Women in the media should be able to have a grown-up and subjective opinion without it being anything more than that. It's disappointing. No one is throwing shades or shots on either side of the table. That girl is still my friend. I support her 100%. She also tweeted, "I feel like the press just wants to see girls be overly sexual to one another and have no real opinion other than I love it." And she finally ended one of her tweets with, "I'm over it. Women in music are not the same as a teen drama. Stop making us out to be. We are business women and artists, not mean girls." Actor and comedian Jim Carrey is speaking out against new legislation requiring all public school children in California to be vaccinated starting in 2016. Carrey, who has been an outspoken critic of vaccinations, said Jerry Brown needed to be stopped. Carrey tweeted of Brown, who signed the legislation on Tuesday, California governor says yes to poisoning more children with mercury and aluminum in mandatory vaccines. This corporate fascist must be stopped. The new legislation removes personal beliefs exemptions to vaccinations for religious reasons. Carrey was once in a relationship with Jenny McCarthy, the public face of the anti-vaccination movement. She has said her son developed autism after receiving a vaccination. Carrey also tweeted, "I am not anti-vaccine. I'm anti-thermosol, anti-mercury. They have taken some of the mercury-laden thermosol out of vaccines. Not at all." He also tweeted, "The CDC can't solve a problem they helped start. It's too risky to admit that they have been wrong about mercury thermosol. They are corrupted. And he also finished the tweet by adding, "Go to traceamounts.com, watch the documentary, and judge for yourself. If you really care about the kids, you will. It's shocking." Oscar winner Julia Roberts is set to star with Jennifer Aniston, Kate Hudson, and Jason Sudeikis for a movie called Mother's Day, an ensemble comedy to be directed by Gary Marshall. Producing are Wayne Rice, Gulfstream Pictures, Mike Kratz, and Kevin Frakes of Palm Star Media, which is financing the film. The film will begin shooting in August, and the project is out to buyers and distributors. The project of the vein of Marshall's ensemble holiday-centric comedies, Valentine's Day and New Year's Eve. In this one, the lives of several mothers that intertwine as Mother's Day approaches. The script was written by Anya Kochoff-Romano, who wrote Monster-in-Law, and Lily Hollander. Palm Stars Media, Ankur Riktunga is executive producer. This is the fourth time that Roberts will work with Marshall, who first directed her to stardom with Pretty Woman. Their collaborations include Runaway Bride and Valentine's Day. Michael B. Jordan is getting in the ring for the first trailer for Creed. Luckily for him, he has an old pro to help guide him, with Sylvester Stallone reprising his role as Rocky Balboa in the Rocky spin-off. The Ryan Coogler film sees Rocky train Adonis Johnson, Jordan, the son of his old rival and friend Apollo Creed. The Warner Brothers MGM film, presented in association with New Line Cinema, hits theaters November 25th. Mogul Donald Trump is making good on his threats following Univision's decision to sever ties with him over his remarks about immigration. The mogul and presidential candidate filed a $500 million lawsuit against Univision on Tuesday, claiming the Hispanic Media organization violated its contract with him and his Miss Universe organization. Univision on Thursday announced it would end its business relationship with Trump due to his June 16 speech, declaring his candidacy for president, during which he referred to Mexican immigrants as rapists. Univision states it no longer will air the Miss USA pageant on July 12th or any other project connected to the Trump organization. Trump claims in the lawsuit that his Miss Universe organization sealed a $13.5 million licensing deal in January, in which Univision agreed to broadcast the organization's pageants from 2015 to 2019. In his widely criticized speech, Trump said, "When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people." The state simply stated there's nothing in the agreement in which Univision gives the Univision the right to terminate its relationship with the Miss Universe organization, states the complaint, which was filed in the New York State Supreme Court by Belkin, Burden, Weinig, and Goldberg's Jeffrey Goldman. The complaint includes claims of breach of contract and breach of the covenant of good faith and fair dealing. In a separate claim of intentional interference with contractual relationships, Trump accused Univision of engaging in behind-the-scenes lobbying of their former colleagues at NBC, leading the network to terminate its relationship with him. NBC's termination of its relationship with Trump leaves the Miss USA pageant with no English or Spanish broadcaster. In addition to the contractual claims, Trump is suing for defamation, claiming untruthful statements by Univision and his executives have despoiled his image. These statements include an Instagram post by Univision's network's president of programming and content, Alberto Curarana, who was a separately named defendant, that compared Trump to Charleston, South Carolina shooter Dylan Roof. The state complains, while Mr. Karuna would later remove the defamatory post, the damage was already done. Mr. Karuna's post was picked up by the media and became the subject of hundreds, if not thousands, of press articles, yet another example of Univision's dubious efforts to create a false narrative in an attempt to upset Mr. Trump's longstanding personal and business relationship with the Hispanic community. Says Trump in the statement, under the contract, Univision is required to broadcast the pageant live on television in Spanish. While Univision claims its decision came solely in response to the comments by Mr. Trump during a June 16, 2015 campaign speech announcing his candidacy for president of the United States, the decision was, in reality, a politically motivated attempt to suppress Mr. Trump's freedom of speech under the First Amendment. The statement continues: prior to violating the contract, a high-ranking Univision executive called and apologized to Mr. Trump, explaining that the company's actions were wrong and that they felt ashamed. In responding to the filing, Univision countered, "We just reviewed Mr. Trump's complaint for the first time, and it's both factually false and legally ridiculous. We'll not only vigorously defend the case, but we'll continue to fight against Mr. Trump's ongoing efforts to run away from the derogatory comments he made on June 16th about Mexican immigrants. Our decision to end our business relationship with Mr. Trump was influenced solely by our responsibility to speak up for the community we serve." In a related story, with no broadcast home in place, the 2015 Miss USA pageant will be made available to stream online, The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed. Fans will be able to stream the telecast, which will take place on July 12th in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, via Miss USA's official website. A Miss USA rep says more information about the pageant will be available. Co-hosts Cheryl Burke and Thomas Roberts stepped down Tuesday after Univision and later NBC pulled the pageant and cut all ties with Donald Trump because of his recent remarks about immigrants that NBC deemed derogatory. Before Trump's June 16th comments, in which he referred to Mexican immigrants as rapists, NBC had broadcast Miss USA for the past 11 years. Trump filed a $500 million lawsuit against Univision's communications on Tuesday, claiming the Hispanic Media organization violated its contract with him and his Miss Universe organization. Nick Gordon, the boyfriend of Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina Brown, has reportedly retained a high-powered team to help him face his mounting legal troubles. People magazine reports that Gordon has hired attorney Jose Baez, who won a high-profile acquittal for Casey Anthony, who was tried in 2011 for the murder of her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee. The much-awaited case earned Baez national attention and a string of other high-profile cases. Baez joins a team that includes Joe Hibachi and Randy Kessler and investigator T.J. Ward, who investigated the Nellie Hollywood disappearance, according to People. Baez's office did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Brown has been in a coma since January, when she was found unresponsive in a bathtub in her home in Atlanta. Last week, Brown was moved to hospice care, and her conservators filed a complaint against Brown, alleged he abused her and stole $11,000 from her. The Fulton County District Attorney is reviewing the case. Gordon has claimed that he and Brown were married in January 2014, and even sporting photos of the couple's sporting wedding rings. According to sources, the two were never married, and in fact, she planned to end the engagement. A day after John Bon Jovi and his wife Dorothea hosted a fundraiser for Democratic presidential hopeful Hillary Clinton, the New Jersey native's music was used to introduce the candidacy of Republican Chris Christie. Tuesday morning, Christie played a handful of Bon Jovi tracks when he announced his 2016 presidential candidacy during a rally at his old high school in Livingston, New Jersey. NJ.com reports that Because We Can and It's My Life were played before his speech. We Weren't Born to Follow played as he left the stage, and Who Says You Can't Go Home with Jennifer Nettles was used afterwards. But despite being a longtime Democrat, Bon Jovi confirmed that the music was used in confidence. He told Billboard through a spokesperson, "My friendship are apolitical, and yes, I absolutely gave him permission to use those songs." Christie, New Jersey's governor since 2010, was born in Newark, New Jersey. Bon Jovi grew up about 40 minutes drive south of Saryville. This isn't the first time Christie has enlisted the music of a legendary Jersey rocker. A devout Bruce Springsteen fan, he attempted to get the boss to perform at his 2009 inauguration party. The longtime Democrat declined, so Christie hired his Springsteen cover band. However, Springsteen applauded Christie for his recovery efforts after Hurricane Sandy hit the Jersey Shore in 2012 and announced that they had become friends. The 2016 election cycle is still in its early stages, so expect many more cases of music and politics interweaving and occasionally butting heads, Donald Trump style. The drummer for the classic rock band Journey sat in jail Tuesday after being indicted on a rape charge 2 weeks after his domestic violent arrest. Dean Castronovo, 50, faces new charges of rape and other crimes after a grand jury returned the indictment Monday. He was arrested June 14th in Salem, Oregon on a misdemeanor assault and menacing, then he was released on bail in order to stay away from the female victim. Castronovo disobeyed by having contact with the woman this past weekend and Monday, leading to 3 charges of contempt of court, according to the indictment. The drummer's attorney, Jeffrey Jones, didn't immediately return a phone message. He says 2 weeks ago that his client was deeply saddened by the accusations of domestic violence and confidence that no criminal conduct occurred. The indictment states that Castronovo had sexual intercourse with the victim by forcibly compulsion between June 8th and June 14th. He faces felony charges of assault, sexual abuse, and unlawful use of a dangerous weapon, which was a knife he carried on June 13th, says prosecutors. Castronovo, who was booked in the Marion County Jail on Monday evening, was scheduled to enter a plea Tuesday afternoon. Castronovo has been with Journey since 1998 when he replaced Steve Smith, the drummer on the group's best-known songs, including Don't Stop Believin'. Journey's Facebook page still lists Castronovo as its drummer, though his legal woes have him sitting out of their shows. The band is scheduled to play Provo, Utah on the 4th of July. Misty Copeland, the Missouri-born dancer who has become a forceful voice for diversity in ballet and a rare celebrity in that field, was named principal dancer at America Ballet Theater on Tuesday, the first African-American ballerina to achieve that status in the company's 75-year history. The company announced the promotion 6 days after Copeland made her New York debut in the role of Odell and Oldalai in Swan Lake, one of the most important roles in the ballerina's repertoire. The emotional performance ended with Copeland being greeted on stage by trailblazing black ballerinas of earlier generations. Copeland, who's 32, has been increasingly famous over the past several years, achieving a pop culture status that's extremely rare for a ballet dancer. Wendy Perron, an author and the former editor of Dance Magazine, says, "We haven't had a ballet dancer who has broken through popular culture like this since Mikhail Brezhnev. She's going to bring more attention from that world to the ballet. We've waited a long time for this." Copeland appeared on the cover of Time magazine as one of the most influential figures of 2015 and wrote a book, both a children's book and a best-selling memoir, Life in Motion, an unlikely ballerina, in which she recounts the challenges she faced on the road to her hard-won perch in ballet, which has been opted for a movie. She also was the subject of a documentary at this year's Tribeca Film Festival. She performed in a music video with Prince and was featured in a hugely popular online ad for Under Armour sportswear that showed her leaping and spinning in the studio, while narrator recounts some of the negative feedback she received as a youngster when she was told that she had the wrong body for ballet and had started too late at 13. The dancer also appears as a guest host on Fox's show So You Think You Could Dance and was a presenter at this year's Tony Awards. Perron knows that, as many did at Copeland's historic Swan Lake performance last week, what a diverse audience Copeland has drawn to the Metropolitan Opera House, where ABT performs its spring season. The crowd was filled with young black girls in their party dresses. Perron said she single-handedly made that a diverse audience. And now here's what happened on this day in entertainment history. On this date in 1984, the Motion Picture Association of America, which oversees the voluntary rating system for movies, introduced a new rating, PG-13. The MPAA was founded in 1922 as a trade group representing the American film industry, announced its first rating system on November 1st, 1968, in response to groups seeking better guidelines to help parents determine whether or not a movie was child appropriate. Jack Valenti, a former assistant to President Lyndon Johnson and the president of the MPAA from 1966 to 2004, was instrumental in developing the new rating system in conjunction with the National Association of Theater Owners and the International Film Importers and Distributors of America. The initial rating categories were G, appropriate for all ages, M, for mature audiences but all ages admitted, R, persons under 16 not admitted without an accompanying adult, and X, no one under 17 admitted. The M category was eventually changed to PG. Parental guidance suggested the R age limit was raised to 17, and on July 1st, 1984, the PG-13 was added to indicate film content with a higher level of intensity. According to the MPAA, the content of a PG-13 may be appropriate for children under 13 years old and may contain very strong language, nudity, non-explicit, strong, mildly, bloodly violence, or mild drug content. On August 10th, 1983, the action-packed film Red Dawn, starring Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen, became the first ever PG-13 movie to be released in theaters. And also on this day in 1979, the transistor radio was a technological marvel that put music literally into consumers' hands in the 1950s. It was cheap, it was reliable, and was portable, but it could never even approximate the sound quality of a record being played on a home stereo. It was, however, the only radio being played on a home stereo. It was, however, the only technology available on the ongoing music libraries until the Sony Corporation sparked a revolution in personal electronics with the introduction of the first personal stereo cassette player, a device as astonished on the first encounter as the cellular phone or digital camera would later be the Sony Walkman, went on to sales for the very first time on July 1st, 1979. The Sony Walkman didn't represent a breakthrough in technology so much as it did a breakthrough in imagination. Every element of the Walkman was already in production and testing as part of some other device when Sony's legendary chairman, Masaru Ibuka, made a special request in early 1979. Ibuka was a music lover who traveled frequently, and he was already in the habit of carrying one of his company's portable stereo tapes recorders with him on international flights. But the Sony TC-D5 was a heavy device that was in no standards portable by modern standards, so Ibuku asked his then deputy Norio Ohoga if he could cobble together something better. Working with the company's existing Pressman product, a portable monitor tape recorder that was popular with journalists, Ohoga had a playback-only stereo device rigged up in time for Ibuka's next trans-Pacific flight. After a breakneck development phase of only 4 months, Sony engineers had a reliable product ready for market at 30,000 yen, approximately in U.S. money $150 in 1979 dollars, and available before the start of summer vacation for Japanese students, both critical targets established at the outset of development. The initial production run of 30,000 units looked to be too ambitious after 1 month of lackluster sales. Only 3,000 were sold in July 1979. But after an innovative consumer marketing campaign in which Sony representatives simply approached pedestrians on the street of Tokyo and gave them a chance to listen to the Walkman, the product took off, selling out available stocks before the end of August and signaling the beginning of one of Sony's greatest success stories. And that is your entertainment report for Wednesday, July 1st, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. Or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.